Morning friends, happy Wednesday, how the heck you doing? And if like me and you're a supporter of Harry and Meghan, although there's a lot of royalists that follow this channel, well that's a whole other video coming up shortly, you would have been shocked by yesterday's news. The Daily Mail are literally using the Daily Mail today, the top 12 stories, to tell everyone how brilliant and how right the Daily Mail has always been. They're literally using their own platform to tell everyone how brilliant they are and how terrible Harry, Elton John, Baroness Lawrence, who lost a son in tragic circumstances in London decades ago, and other people. So they're all wrong, including Harry, and the Daily Mail is the personification of truth and justice, which we all know is not true. And it's absolutely amazing that the judge presiding over this case was also the person that prosecuted other media titles on behalf of Harry previously and won. So if that isn't weird, I don't know what is. Like, just make that make sense. The guy that prosecuted other media titles and won has now decided that the Daily Mail should face no consequences, and Harry and Elton John and all the rest of the people are wrong. My opinion's not important, yours is.
Grand Rising, my little chairs up, it's fine, well, I'm going to jump straight in. When I work with clients, I teach them how to change their perspective, right? And how to look at things in a different way. Obviously, it's changing your perspective, isn't it? So, Harry may have lost his trial today against the whole group, Papers group. But I still think that's a win. Because not only has he again been able to see people for who they are, he's given it a shot. Everyone else sees them for who they are. Even people that were not supportive. Even people that weren't initially supportive of Harry. Well, they are now. When I first came here and I first started doing what I do, and I was talking on the royal family and stuff like that, the support for that family was overwhelming. The amount of people that would rush to my comment sections to talk about how great they are and what they bring into the country with the tourist value and the this and the that. They didn't care that Kate's parents owed the purse $2 million and that they're con people. They didn't care that Charlie was a lying, cheating scumbag who realistically lies and cheats normally abuse their fucking wives. Because, I mean, gaslighting your wife and making her think she's crazy is mental fucking abuse. But, I mean, whatever. They look past all of that. You know what I've learned over the last few months, though? Or last year, actually. Is that that's definitely changed. A lot more people, and actually people that weren't in support of them are in support of them now. And a lot more people who didn't give a fuck are in support of them now. So the palace looks stupid. Because so many people are watching. Where I'm from, you're taught not to bring embarrassment and shame to your door. Don't air your dirty linen out in the streets. Discuss it all in-house. I used to think that was a little bit toxic. But judging by what I've seen from the palace and telling people about where Harry will be, taking away security, then exposing his location. When I see things like that, I prefer my family's way of doing things, to be honest. I'm actually grateful. Because, yeah, my family protected me. I didn't grow up with what I assume Charlie is to be, a narcissistic father. I didn't grow up in a house where people made me feel it's not a fucking thing. So thank God. And even if I did find myself around certain family members that may have looked down their nose at me for specific reasons I don't care to discuss here, I didn't give a fuck. Harry may have to take a little while to learn that lesson. His parent was a narc, in my opinion. I'm not a doctor or a therapist, but you know. That takes a lot of rewiring to get through. And if you've actually really been around a narcissist, parent or relationship or child, you will know that's a lot of rewiring you've got to do. So he's got a lot of work to do, but I'm sure he'll get it done. Thank God that they didn't approve it all and that the kids didn't come here and Meghan didn't come. Imagine all the money that those papers would have made. Like, imagine all of the fucking tabloids headlines. I'm glad. Turns out Charlie did him a favour by being a cunt. Who'd have thought it, eh? Have a good day.
As you all may have heard, Prince Harry, Elton John, Liz Hurley, Doreen Lawrence and the others who brought their case against Daily Mail lost today. And before I go on, I have to say, Prince Harry has got to be the bravest of the royal family. He took on the press. He's the only one with a backbone. He took up press that backs pedos, blackmail people, have ruined thousands of lives. Prince Harry stood out among the members of the royal family and took them on. His father warned him, King Charles warned him not to do it. Even chose the Daily Mail, the press, over his own son. That's how scared they are of the British press. But he did all of that. Obviously, he knew the risks. He knew it could go one of two ways, and he still took that risk. That is a brave man. That is a strong man. Secondly, the people acting like it was the royal family Prince Harry took to court, even though it wasn't just him, there were other claimants involved, acting like it was the royal family and King Charles that Prince Harry took to court. That is very telling. It tells us exactly what the relationship is between the palace, the royal family, and the media. Now, the press are touting it as a 50 million trial, blah, blah, blah. Big lie. It wasn't. Prince Harry wouldn't have to pay back 50 million. That's a big lie. Of course, the deep rangers and unhinged royalists are saying, oh, Prince Harry's going to be bankrupt now, blah, blah, blah. They're really happy at the fact that he's going to be bankrupt paying back 50 million. That's why we call them deep rangers. They're so easy to manipulate. They hate their bias so easily to weaponize and manipulate against them. Their hate makes them stupid. Prince Harry's already out and about doing the things he came here to do. He's been to the Invictus Games Foundation conversation and he's giving a speech, even though the press are trying to say he looked shaken and swallowing and he didn't look his usual self. He looked his usual self. He already knew the judgment. It wasn't new to him. So of course he was prepared. Anyways, like I said, kudos to Prince Harry for being brave, for having the backbone to stand up to the press. This is a corrupt press.
Oh, you have got to see this. The Daily Mail is out here doing a full-blown victory lap, completely tripping over themselves to scream victorized from the front pages. They dropped this massive headline claiming there was some grand evil campaign against them, acting like they're the pure, innocent victims of a conspiracy. It is top-tier delusion. They win one legal matchup against Prince Harry because a judge says there wasn't enough ironclad paperwork to prove hacking on these specific articles, and suddenly they want a medal. Let's be real, does one courtroom win automatically erase decades of trash tabloid behaviour? Absolutely not. Nice try, guys, but we all remember the phone hacking scandals. We all know how the tabloid machine operates. Winning a legal technicality doesn't magically turn a corporate gossip factory into a pillar of journalistic truth. It's pure projection. They love to point fingers and call everyone else liars, but they are the ones twisting the narrative. At the end of the day, regular people get how this works. Newspapers aren't charities, they're businesses. Their entire job is to sell copies and get clicks. Of course they're going to spin this legal ruling to make themselves look like absolute angels. It's just corporate marketing masquerading as a proud day for justice. Honestly, the way they are celebrating is just embarrassing. Harry stood up to them, threw punches, and forced them to spend millions defending their sketchy methods in open court for months. Keep backing Harry, because no matter what a single headline says, regular folks see right through the Daily Mail's smoke and mirrors. The tabloid machine is still cooked. There is one fact nobody can deny. Prince Harry is the only royal with the guts to actually stand up and fight the tabloid monster head on. Think about the rest of the family. They love to complain behind closed doors, leaking stories to their favourite reporters, crying about their privacy while playing the media game. But actually step into a courtroom, face a cross-examination? Never. They're too terrified of what might crawl out from under the rug. But Harry, he threw his entire life into the ring. He put his own money, his reputation, and his mental peace on the line to drag these powerful tabloid bosses into the light. He didn't care about the risk, he wanted accountability. And let's call a spade about this latest ruling. It is a complete and obvious whitewash. You're telling me a judge just magically tosses out all 97 allegations? Come on, it's totally suspicious. You just know the palace's invisible fingers were all over this court case. It smells like a classic inside job, the institution protecting its media buddies, probably passing around some heavy brown envelopes behind the scenes to make sure the truth stayed buried. The whole system is completely rigged to protect the powerful. For regular people, this is the ultimate proof of how the real world works. When a normal person fights a massive corrupt machine, the machine protects itself. But Harry's willingness to bow to war, pull back the curtain, and look those corporate giants dead in the eye, that is pure courage. They can rig the game and protect their favourite trash papers all they want, but Harry won the moral battle a long time ago. Keep fighting, man. The royalists and the tabloid defenders are throwing a literal festival because Harry technically lost his latest privacy case against the Daily Mail. They are popping champagne, dancing in the streets, and acting like Harry has been completely crushed and exiled forever. But hold up, let's look at the bigger picture here. Did he really lose? Think about the sheer amount of courage it takes for one guy to step up, break completely away from royal tradition, and drag one of the most ruthless, powerful media empires in British history into the light. Most people in his shoes would stay dead silent, play nice with the press, and keep taking the punches just to keep their comfortable little lives quiet. But Harry, he said enough is enough. Win or lose on a legal technicality, Harry forced that entire toxic tabloid machine to sit under a massive spotlight for months. He made them sweat, he made them defend their shady, aggressive methods in open court for the entire world to see. For regular people out here, this is the ultimate lesson. Sometimes just standing up and swinging back against a corrupt wigged system is the victory. The establishment wanted him to bow down, shut up, and accept the media abuse like the rest of his family does. Instead, he stood his ground and fought for accountability. They can celebrate their little courtroom paperwork victory all they want, but Harry won the moral war the second he refused to back down. Respect to the man for never giving up the fight.
Here's the real reason why Harry keeps lacing up his gloves and stepping back into the ring year after year, completely ignoring the risks. You have to look at the history here. This isn't just a random legal battle for him. This is deeply personal. The man watched the British tabloid monster hunt his mother, Princess Diana, his entire childhood. He saw exactly how they treated her, and he said, "Not on my watch, and never again." Harry isn't stupid. He knew exactly what would happen when he filed these lawsuits. He knew the trash papers would turn around and launch a massive, non-stop smear campaign against him. He knew they'd drag his name through the mud and call him every names in the book. But he did it anyway. Who else in that position would willingly take on the most powerful, ruthless media organizations on the planet, over and over again? Nobody. The rest of his family's too busy hiding behind their PR teams. That level of absolute grit is exactly why his supporters don't see a defeated man. They see a warrior who refuses to back down. And honestly, can we just talk about how incredibly glad we are that Meghan and the kids stayed completely clear of the UK for this trip? Oh my God, the tabloids were absolutely parched. They were starving for content. They were practically salivating at the airport gate, just waiting to snap a photo of Meghan or the kids so they could plaster them on the front pages and cash in on those massive clicks. They wanted to turn those innocent kids into a cheap payday. But Meghan said, nope, not today. She kept the family safe, secure, and far away from the circus. For regular people watching this, that's just pure human instinct. You protect your peace and you protect your family from toxic predators. The tabloids can keep spinning their legal wins and running their fake little victory laps all they want. But Harry is still standing. His family is safe, and he's proving every single day that you can't buy his silence. You have got to laugh at the absolute state of these royalists and talking heads right now. The second the court ruling dropped, these people didn't just report the news, they threw a literal carnival. They are celebrating on television, throwing confetti on social media, and cheering like their favorite soccer team just won the World Cup. It is wild. They are infinitely more excited about seeing Harry get a setback than they are about the actual massive issues brought up in that courtroom. Like, think about the level of pure, unadulterated hostility you have to hold in your heart to get this angry at one man just asking for accountability. They completely stopped caring about the facts a long time ago. They don't care about privacy violations, they don't care about sketchy tabloid tactics, and they don't care about the truth. The entire goalpost shifted. Now it's just a desperate, pathetic obsession with wanting to see Harry fail at any cost.
Every single hurdle he hits becomes an immediate front-page festival for them. Let's look at this through a regular person's lens. This is exactly like those miserable neighbors or toxic coworkers who have absolutely nothing going on in their own lives. They are so bored and bitter that the highlight of their entire week is watching someone else pull up to the driveway with a flat tire. They'll stand at the window, point, and laugh just to feel something. It's small-minded, it's sad, and it is pure hater energy. But the joke is completely on them. They can pop their cheap champagne and write their angry little columns all day long, but they're just exposing how deeply Harry lives inside their heads. They are totally consumed by him. Harry is out here living his life, standing up for what's right, while they're throwing parties over a paperwork technicality. It's embarrassing, it's loud, and honestly, it just proves Harry is winning the real war. Keep hating, guys. It's great free publicity. And that is a wrap on today's breakdown. Huge shout out to all the day ones and returning viewers. You already know how we roll, and your support in the comments keeps this channel alive. I really appreciate you all. And if you are new around here, welcome to the crew. Hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss the real, unfiltered truth. If you want to take things to the next level and really back what we're doing, check out our channel membership. Hit that join button below to get access to exclusive perks and loyalty badges. Thanks for watching. I am your host, Miles, and I'll see you guys in the next video.